My next guest makes his UFC debut coming up here January 20th at UFC 220 against Dan Ige. It is Julio Arce joining me here on the program yet again. Julio, how are you? I imagine pretty damn good.
Pretty damn excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Can't believe this is happening.
Tell me how you found out you were on the UFC roster, that you got signed. How did this all come together? Was it a phone call, an email? How'd you find out?
Well, first, I was in the middle of teaching class. You know, like when I first heard the news that Charles Rosa had he gotten hurt, he pulled out a fight. You know, I was trying to make like a push for it. But then afterwards, you know, I never heard anything, so I just kind of assumed, I'm like, okay, maybe guess it's not happening. And I just kind of just kept training, and I was just, you know, I didn't really think about it. But I just stayed in shape. I stayed ready. You know, like I've been telling everybody, just stay ready for anything. And then, you know, like the other day, all of a sudden, I get a call, you know, a video message from my manager, Dave Fish, and he's like, he gave me this whole long speech, and I'm getting anxious because you know, I feel something big coming, and then he's like, you know, you got a UFC contract, and now you're fighting in Boston along Shane, and I was like, oh my God, like in the middle of my class, everyone's going crazy, excited, because they've been with me through the entire journey, so it's like, I just words can't describe it right now.
When did you actually find out? Was it earlier this? Because we're recording this on January 4th, so you know we got a bit of time before the fight. But when did you actually find out?
2 days ago.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're fresh. This news is yeah. It's incredible, man. Who's the first person you told once you found out the news? I mean, obviously your students saw, but did you make a quick phone call to anyone, kind of let them know what's up?
I just let everybody know.
Yeah, you put it out
like
there?
So there's a couple of people I knew before me, so I had no idea, but then I just started calling my family. You know, my girlfriend knew. My girlfriend knew before me.
Oh,
right?
really?
Everybody
Okay.
knew. I feel like everybody knew before me. It was like more of a surprise for me, like a great new way to start the new year, and I'm just super excited.
Were you ever worried that all this might not happen? Because, you know, people saw the Contender Series. They saw you got a really impressive win, and there was no contract. I think I think you look at all the performances on Contender Series, there's maybe one or two, but yours especially, people are like, what the heck? Why isn't this guy getting signed?
Yeah, like, you know, at the Contender Series, you know, like I was just excited that I was able to show what I got and, you know, leave an impression on them. And, of course, I didn't get the contract. In the back of my head, I was kind of a little bummed out about it. But then I kind of made my placement there so they know who I am. And then afterwards, like I said, I just kept training. You know, I wasn't gonna put my head down and just be bummed about it. I'm like, you know what? I showed them what I got, and now there's gonna be more opportunities. Now they know that I'm always gonna be ready. They know who I am, and if something happens, they know I'll be ready for it. So when this Boston event happened, of course I got pumped up because it's like, oh look, it's a short ride away from me. It's not really that far. And, you know, it's a big opportunity. You know, my teammate Shane Burgos, he even told me, like, look, the stars are aligning. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's your time to do it. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, let's do it. I called, you know, I texted my manager and friend Dave Fish, and he just put out the word. He's like, just, you know, be ready. And then next thing you know, all of a sudden, this caught me by surprise. And, you know, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, and finally some good luck for your camp because of what happened with Jimmy on the UFC card. I mean, that was unreal. What happened there with
that was just a big mess. It's like, you know, it sucks because he was busting his ass. You know, where every day we're in the training room with him. He was getting ready, and especially for it to happen a week out, and then that whole Twitter thing with Moraes. It's like you know what? It's like just. It was like just unnecessary. Like Moraes made himself look bad because of it, because nothing ended up happening, and then Jimmy was left without an opponent. So it's like, you know, now it's like, what's next for him? He has to wait, or unless he takes a fight. But you know, like that, of course, that'll be what he decides to do and the team decides to do. But it just sucks for it to happen a week before. Like it's, you know, you're all hyped up, you're ready. It's the end of the year fight, and then that happens. It kind of like just, you know how it is.
Yeah, it's a bummer for sure. I mean, because you know Lineker was a good replacement. I mean, it's no Dominic Cruz per se, but yeah, just to have two opponents pull out that definitely sucked. One thing I want to talk to you about is, and I just found this out actually talking to Shane Burgos, your teammate, was that you fought on that Glory card in New York. How did that even come together, and how was that experience?
Well, one, the experience to fight at the Garden, great, because now I get to say I did boxing at the Garden, and I did professional kickboxing at the Garden. So all that's left is MMA. So I know when they come back to New York, I definitely want to be on that MSG card. But yeah, like I didn't want to be on the shelf for too long, just waiting for a fight that we didn't know if it was going to happen or not, if I was going to get called or anything. And I just wanted to stay in shape, stay active. So they offered me, like, look, Glory's doing an event in the city. I'm like, I'm in. And then, I even told my manager Fish afterwards that look, if the UFC doesn't call anything, I'm down to do like a Glory tournament. Look, I like to take part in all the disciplines, whether it's boxing, MMA, kickboxing. It's like I'm down for it.
Yeah. No, and what's interesting too is like those undercard results are kind of buried. I interviewed another guy that was on your undercard, Canadian kid, Jonathan DeBella. I don't know if you know who that is. And for some reason, like I couldn't find results on the fight anywhere. It's so weird. So when I heard that you had fought, I was like, really? Like I didn't see that anywhere. So that's cool though. You got that experience, and I'm sure fighting at the Garden. I mean, you fought in the Contender Series. You fought at the Garden now. I mean, as far as the big lights, you've seen it to a certain extent already.
Yeah, it was great exposure. It was a great event. Of course, like. We weren't the well-known names, but, we're still professional. We got great exposure, fighting over there. Got all my teammates, coming out there for support. So, I mean, it was an amazing event. I just, like I said, I just wanted to just stay active. And, of course, I worked a lot on my striking, so it was pretty awesome. And just continue gain experience, get better, and just look to become a great martial artist overall. And now look, now I get this great opportunity, so I really can't wait.
And let's talk about the opportunity. Dan Ige, another Contender Series alum. He has the 8-1 record, I should say. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I won. It's it's a great fight for me. I know he's I don't know. I'm not sure about his style. Sometimes he's more jiu-jitsu, but look, he comes forward. He's ready. He's ready to fight, and look. With this opportunity, just to let you know, I'm super excited right now. So it's like I'm trying to get my words out with this. But, like we match up very well. Look, 2 Contender Series alumni and just getting in there ready to go, and I'm really happy. And I, give him a lot of props because, he decided to take this fight. And now I had this opportunity to fight in the UFC. So, my respects to him. But, look, I can't wait. Can't wait to get in there and just, leave it all out. Leave it all on that cage.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. We talked about your training camp a little bit there. As far as training partners, usual cast of characters, I imagine, Shane Burgos, guys like that.
Yeah, we got Shane Burgos. You got Mike Trezano, he's an up-and-comer right now. He's undefeated, 6-0, and I know you'll see him in the big leagues soon enough. I got Jimmy. I got Louis Gaudino. I got Nick Pace, Lyman. A lot of up-and-comers, some of the amateurs, 2 of my, close friends, Danny Ramirez, who fought on the Glory card with me, Justin Musalia. Like, these guys are making their MMA debuts. So, they're always in the training room. They're always there helping me get ready. So, and I've been staying in shape for anything. So, for this training camp, it's just get in there. Be free in that cage. That's it. I got it's a 2-week notice fight. But you know what, though? Since I've been staying in shape, the conditioning is not going to be a factor. It's just going to be in there and just be free. Have some fun in there. Yeah. And leave it all out.
How's the weight cut going? Because, you found this out on short notice, and we just had the holiday season, but you said you're staying in shape, and you seem like you're in a good mood, so I imagine it's going well.
Yeah, weight cut's going great. Like I said, since I moved up a weight class, that was the whole point. I don't want to have to kill myself cutting weight or think about a weight cut during, training camp. I just want to better my skill, and, the weight cut's easy. I'm really not far off. I'm like, 6 pounds off?
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Excellent. How do you see this fight sort of playing out on January 20th?
You know what? I'm not sure. All I know is it's just going to be an exciting fight. I'm going to get in there, go. If the finish happens, it happens. If not, we go distance. I'm just like super pumped and fired up, ready to go.
Yeah, I can tell, man. It's coming right through this interview. You mentioned staying at 45. Is there any interest at all? I mean, I guess you'd never go down to bantamweight again. You're kind of set, because I was going to say there's a guy in the UFC roster who I'm sure you want to get some revenge at, and Brian Kelleher. Is that a matchup you'd ever want? I guess you'd want him to come up and fight you.
I don't know. Like, he gave me my 2 losses, and I learned from that. That was also that point in time where I realized he's like, I'm kind of killing my body just to make 35. And he fights at 35, I fight 45. You know, if it ever happens, it happens. If not, like I said, I just move on. Those were my two learning experience fights from going with him. And then also for me to realize that it was my time to move up a weight class. And now I just move on. You know, look, whatever happens, happens. You know, I'll be down to fight whoever. Like I've become the rookie now that just steps into the UFC. So I know, you know, like a lot of people are gonna be either be like, I fight him. If not, you know, like, you know, I had this fight, and then after that, you know, we'll decide what happens there. What's our next step? But right now, it's like just to focus on this fight, this opportunity, getting in there, just being free in that cage, and just, you know, put on a great show.
Excellent. Well, we certainly are looking forward to it. It is UFC 220 coming up here January 20th. Julio, like I said, congratulations again, man. It's going to be a great fight. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah. So, like, first you can find me, you know, just Julio Arce 89 on Instagram. You can find me at JRC TSMMA on Twitter. You know, I just want to just thank everybody, you know, I mean, including you. You've been interviewing me for a while now, you know, helping me really come up. You know, all my teammates and Tiger Showmans, my family, my girlfriend, everyone who's been so supported. You know, my sponsors, NutriBio, Tiger Fight Here, you know, like they've been so, like, I mean, they've been my day one sponsors, and just all my coaches, you know, all my mentors, you know, like everyone that just keeps supporting me, you know, my family in Colombia, everybody who's just been like, right behind me, just, you know, I never given up, just seeing they know that they had just such a belief in me that I was going to make it here. And, you know, everyone just keep motivating, all the students in my school, everybody.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.